Dools.
Has.
The future of gaming is here. The PS5 launch event has happened. We've watched it. Let's review it. But Dools, just roll the intro.
Staying a little different lately. I like it though.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I know
Keep
today I'm
me
excited,
on my toes,
Dools.
I see.
I'm a bit excited, but Dools, welcome one and all to another episode of the More Cops on Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the lawn to my Lanning, the station to my play, Edward Dools Dooley.
Clanky,
Dools,
Ratchet,
how you doing today?
etc. and so on. Are you going to be attending the funeral? Because PlayStation just murdered Xbox.
Oh, mate, with undeniable fashion, with absolute glorious intent. It was beautiful.
God.
How you doing, Dools?
I'm
how you feeling?
fucking fantastic, dude. I'm reeling. I was telling you I had 000 on speed dial because I was honestly very concerned I'd have a fucking stroke, and I came close. Real good, but man, this thing didn't just meet expectations. It rose above and beyond in over-delivering. So let's not waste any time, eh?
Exactly. First thing I want to say that there is some construction people outside my house, so if you do hear some background noise, apologise. Hopefully it doesn't last too long, but we wanted to record this now and get it up.
Harry lives in a low-income area. That's not because he doesn't do well for himself. It's because he likes to be a man of the people. That's what he told me, and I appreciate that.
No worries, I guess. Yeah, so the PS5 launch event has happened. We'll go through it chronologically. I've got notes about everything that was shown. I reckon we just get right into it, Dools. We start off with an amazing little hype reel that just got you in the groove. We both woke up at like 5:30
Okay,
in the
so they're
morning.
masters of this at this stage, the hype reel.
Yeah,
So,
they're hype reel, yeah.
And this was a particularly special one because it was like, they did the OG PlayStation boot up sound from PS1, and then it's just like, 19 I think is it 4 that the PS1 came out, or whichever year it was, and so it kind of did all the years with each console release, so PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and then did a hype reel of like PS4 games, and then it went right into GTA 5. I was
to which we're like, is this a DLC? I was like,
I
this is a
started to
weird
think
way
that,
to...
bro. But and it sounds like
this
we
is
might
weird.
actually be getting for the first time single player DLC. I mean, maybe because they do kind of say enhanced and expanded. Yeah, it could just be more online content, but they always add to online. So I mean, to say that doesn't really mean much. But I don't know. The fact that they were highlighting the single player in there again tells me, well, maybe we actually might be finally getting some single player DLC, which would be crazy.
Yeah, so it showed some DeLorean stuff and everything like that. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, it's just DLC. It's a weird way to start off a PS5 event. But Dools, that wasn't it. It wasn't DLC. It was the news that anyone that owns a PS5 instantly gets GTA 5 for free. Everyone
GTA
that was
5
freaking
online,
out when
so I
GTA
think they specified that might not include the campaign, because they have been selling GTA online as a separate package for a while now. But that's still huge. The online offering is just unbelievable, and like, dude, the game so far has sold 130 million plus copies. So I mean, they have Rockstar lose nothing by getting people on board for free with this, and so yeah, I mean, genius. And plus, I think there's another little incentive where all PS Plus subscribers get 1 million GTA cash from now until the PS5 launch, which is I mean, I still play GTA Online from time to time, so that for me is actually pretty huge.
Yeah, it's awesome. Such a good initiative. And then we get into our first exclusive, Dools. We didn't see this coming.
This is like a big one.
Launch slash window title, and it's a genius move. We're getting Spider-Man Miles Morales. Spider-Man sold unbelievably well, and I think this is a genius move because this, of course, will sell consoles. This will fly consoles off the shelves.
So I think
everyone needs to play the latest Spider-Man game.
So, yeah, and so Insomniac Spider-Man, we all had a good feeling it was going to be a great game. It was an incredible game. I think they nailed Spider-Man, just the web slinging and the combat, everything about it was great. The story probably the best story I've seen in Spider-Man media to date, to be completely honest. Like, even better than the films, in my opinion. Oh, maybe Spider-Verse edges it, but...
Yeah, Spider-Verse edges
I think
I agree with you.
I think that's actually one of the more exciting things about this, which we think is a spin-off. We're not positive it's a full-blown sequel.
Yeah, we're not sure yet, but what I'm thinking is...
I don't think it is, dude. There's no way they'd have a sequel ready to go right away. This has got to be like a mini...
it wouldn't be Spider-Man. I'm thinking it's like an infamous First Light or an Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Like a $40 title type thing. And
really
like smart, because
like a 10-hour.
Because you imagine Miles might still be playable in Spider-Man 2, but you clearly there's more to Peter's story, and especially with the teasers at the end of the first one. But I think to tease Miles and not give us Miles would be a bit rough, and I think like he's such a cool character, and to capitalize on that Spider-Verse hype, to give Miles his own game, genius move.
Genius. Then we get to our next reveal, Dools. Not one for you and me, but I feel like I might try this out this time. But it's a huge title, Gran Turismo 7.
I was thinking the same, man. I'm like, dude, if I really want to take advantage of this machine, and it's a launch title, I mean, I could be there.
It's going to look beautiful, and it's going to sound incredible. It's like it's going to be a lot of fun, of course. But
that would be a game where if you have
Gran
people
Turismo
around,
sell consoles.
Oh yeah, great. I think, and I loved how I was literally saying to myself like, "Oh, GT's back," and then they literally have those words splashed on the screen.
GT,
because that franchise has been lagging behind Forza for a while now. I think it's probably fair to say that Forza Motorsport Xbox's equivalent has probably been the dominant racing sim franchise in previous years, because Gran Turismo has been somewhat scarce. The last entry they had was GT
it releases
Sport,
every year,
which wasn't like a proper mainline. So I'm pretty sure this is Gran Turismo 7, and or maybe it was just called Gran Turismo. I can't quite. Do you remember? Do you have it in your notes whether they called it GT7?
I wrote down Gran Turismo 7.
Oh, okay.
So it must have been 7.
Because that would be cool if they just dropped the number, and that would imply that maybe it's just going to become a platform and they update it regularly or anything. But no, that's I think it looked stunning. I think that the racing games always are great to show off the hardware, so that was cool to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Then, Dools, we get into my hype moment of the show. I think one of my hype moments of the show. There's so many to count here,
and this was one we'd been predicting.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yep,
it looks stunning. It looks so good. Being able to, I got it here, projections to travel planet to planet instantly.
Seamlessly and instantly, yeah.
Seamlessly and instantly.
This was without them explicitly saying, but this was their way of showing us this is what the SSD, the solid state drive in this new console can do. Instantaneous traversal between worlds, no loading at all. I mean, you would imagine if that was running on PS4, you would not be able to do that at the same speed. Or I mean, there'd be a little loading screen or something in between, and like this is like all instantaneous gameplay. I mean, it just looked unbelievable to watch. And again, it looks like a fucking Pixar movie in real time.
Yeah, exactly. It looks unreal. Then they went through a whole extensive and beautiful gameplay demo, and it looked unbelievable. You can bring in different worlds to fight enemies. Looks unreal. I loved it when he literally like jumped off a cliff and put down a projection, so he traveled to a different world, and he was just like instantly in a desert. I was like, holy shit.
It looks so good.
What are we playing?
So they didn't... I don't think we got a date at all for this. I wouldn't be surprised if... you would imagine they'd say launch just in case, but at the same time, I feel like they're holding back, and they're like, because they didn't give a date for another game at the end either, which we'll talk about. But because a few got 2021 and some didn't get any, but Ratchet looks pretty finished. Looks like ready to go, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if like at the next event when we get more hardware details, price, pre-order details. Then they're just like, by the way, here's what you can play at launch, and then Ratchet's like part of that lineup. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I reckon if Spider-Man and Ratchet are part of that lineup, that
Gran
is
Turismo,
strong.
Oh yeah, that's already huge, dude. And that's Insomniac with 2 games leading the charge.
Yeah, huge.
Wow,
mate, they're massive.
Next up on the list, genius acquisition by Sony as well.
Oh, genius! And they both are like amazing series as well. Dools. Next up on the list, we got Project Anthena, the Square Enix game, We got a bunch of little indies that they all look great, but we'll just touch on them to get through it. Project Anthena looks cool. Next up, we got an Ampere Initiative title where it looks like a cyberpunk cat game where you wear a backpack. I read up on this after the event finished, and there was a lot of screenshots a couple of years ago of the developer being like, "Hey, we can't share you much. It's not coming for a number of years, but here's what I'm working on," and just put on a screenshot of a cat with robots around him, and I'm just like, that's cool. And then it's obviously come alive.
What has been happening? There's just been, I feel like all of a sudden cyberpunk is just blowing up, like as a genre and an aesthetic. I'm just seeing it a ton more. Like Xbox had a cyberpunk game in their thing as well, and there's this one. There was another one, and then there's obviously the big one coming in September. But I'm all for it, bro. I'm a sucker for that look and that genre. So I think, and what's it called? It's called Stray, isn't it? That's a great name.
Stray. It's a great name. Yeah. I'm all in. It looks like a lot of fun.
Can I take this next one?
A little bit of, spec stuff.
Yeah. So this is
Go ahead.
Oh well, I'm looking at So do you have Returnal? Is that what you had?
That's after the specs.
Oh, okay. You take. I
got that after the specs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so specs, they just went through some of the stuff that we already kind of know, but there's some other stuff. There's a haptic feedback with the controller, some 3D audio with the headphones, built-in mic and speaker, which will be awesome to play just for console game, like online console gaming. They'll be sweet. But it's everything that you said, the SSD drive and everything like that. That it's truly showing that this is going to be one of the most powerful consoles of all time, if not the most powerful console of all time. So I can't wait to see what developers do with it.
Yeah, and just on the microphone thing, real quick. I remember when this was first rumored, and not so. This is confirmed now. It seems. Oh, I think they did kind of confirm it with the DualSense reveal, but people were like, "Well, how the hell is an inbuilt microphone going to work? I mean, it's just going to pick up audio from all over the place, and if you don't have a dedicated mic, I mean, that's just going to be a mess." Dude, Sony are masters in the audio department. You don't think they've thought about that? You don't think that was the first thing they thought of? Apparently, the technology filters out outside noise and isolates on the voice, and it's apparently it's just from what devs have said so far, this thing is it fucking works, and it works really well. Yeah. So
exactly.
Stoked.
And then we got the next reveal, Dools. Do you want to take that?
Yeah. So this is a cool one. I was wondering about these guys, but I thought it might be too soon for them to show something. But so basically, Housemarque, which I think is they're a European studio, it might be Swedish or something, but they've done games like Resogun, Matterfall, Alienation, Dead Nation. So they're masters of the arcadey top-down shooter. And now, so they've got a new game, Returnal, which looks really unique. I mean, it looks like it kind of has their DNA in it, like a fast-paced kind of shooter where you movement and speedy movements are a big part of the gameplay, but has a Groundhog Day kind of theme where she's talking about dying over and over again, but each time she wakes up things are different. And anyway, it just looks really cool, and it's really good to see that these guys aren't dead, because I don't know if you know this, but at one point after I think the last game, Matterfall, didn't do too hot sales-wise. So they were like, they were worried maybe the top-down shooters, maybe a dying breed, maybe we've got to shift our attention. And they were actually developing a fucking battle royale. That's what they thought they should be doing. But thankfully, it seems someone came in and saved them. They said that they had, a publisher had contacted them. And they're like, we're making something brand new. Turns out it was Sony. They came to save the day. Thank fuck. Because the last thing we needed was another battle royale. And that would have killed that studio, by the way. Because they just would not have been able to compete, especially now that Warzone's a thing. I mean, holy shit. They're probably wiping their brow right now. But it looks great. I can't wait to see more.
It looks unreal. And so we got Returnal, and on to the next one. And Dools, baby, we're back. Sackboy is back. Holy shit. He's it's something that we didn't know we really wanted, but after watching it, fuck yeah, I'm all in. Sackboy, a big adventure. It's a solid looking platformer with your main boy Sackboy. I reckon they're just trying to bring him to the face front of PlayStation marketing again. He's an easy way to market to kids, and it looks like a really solid platformer. I'm pretty keen for that.
That's what I was thinking. I feel like they're trying to cut Nintendo's grass a little bit with these kid-friendly platformers, and and I'm into that shit as well. I mean, as long as it's a fun game, I'm all in. But I mean, this Ratchet, and then there's actually a few more. I think kid-friendly looking things. I mean, it's like I feel like they're actually actively trying to angle at Nintendo's fan base with some of these games. So real interesting.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Then we move on to Destruction All-Stars, Dools, which is a Twisted Metal sort of looking game. It's like car combat. It looks a lot of fun. It looks a lot of arcadey. I loved the Twisted Metal franchise, but I'm kind of over that sort of arcadey.
I even told you during
combat.
the stream. I thought, imagine if it's a Twisted Metal reboot. But yeah.
It would have been like I knew it wasn't going to be a Twisted Metal reboot because like you saw how like lighthearted and jerky it is. But if people have played Twisted Metal, the story there, it's dark as fuck, like real dark. But no, it looks like a lot of fun, but probably not for me. But it still looks good.
Yeah.
Then we move on to Kena, Bridge of Spirits. This looks incredible, Dools. This is the Zelda lookalike.
This is what I'm talking about. This is like another example of them trying to attract Nintendo fans. I mean, yeah, this looks like a Zelda game, and I'm all in.
Yeah, it looks unreal. Looks beautiful as well.
And I think the two developers, they had a quick little introduction, and they seem to have big animation background. You could tell immediately, like, this looks like, it could be like a DreamWorks movie come to life kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks beautiful. I straight away I saw it and saw one little call out as well is almost every single game they were sure to give you some gameplay. Oh, they were sure.
I don't think there was a single purely CG. I mean, there were some CG things, but they always had at least a snippet of gameplay in there.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. and you gotta imagine why that is.
yeah, they learned from a particular other event that Xbox did. Classic. Then we move on to another indie title, Goodbye Whole Volcano. Looks pretty cool. Looks unique, very 2D-ish, very story-oriented. It looks cool. And then our boy, Lorne Lanning, comes out, Dools. Lorne fucking Lanning.
Big fan of this man, dude.
Introduced... He's brought back Oddworld. Oddworld Soulstorm is the title. It looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. If anyone doesn't know what Oddworld is, it's such a fun, campy, like action adventure game. It's quite like Jak and Daxter sort of vibes, or Ratchet and Clank. Just looks like a lot of fun. Can't wait. And Lorne Lanning's an absolute legend. Go watch his interviews with Kinda Funny. They're hilarious. He's awesome.
Yep.
And then, Dools, we go on to a title that I think that we both agree that we weren't expecting at this event at all, which is Ghostwire Tokyo. We saw this first last year at E3 in Bethesda's conference. Had a great little concept of, like, you play a detective in Tokyo and everyone's disappeared, which is, like, instantly very captivating. You're like, it's so, curious about it. It's an interesting little plot point. And then they show us gameplay for the first time. Comes out in 2021, by the way. I was not expecting it to be first person, but I was all in.
Neither was I, but I think that's a great... by the way, this is from... I'm not going to attempt to say the gentleman's name, but it's from the same studio that's been doing the Evil Within games. So they're under the Bethesda banner.
Them.
And
that's right.
The creative director of the studio is also behind some of the OG Resident Evil. So, I mean, he's got survival horror in his DNA, and it still looks like it has a little bit of that in there, but it does look a bit more action oriented. And I think the first person looks great though. It looks very unique. I haven't seen anything quite like it. Like, it seems like you both your hands are front and center, and you're kind of like conjuring spells kind of thing to fight off these demons, and looks interesting. So
it does look
pretty
interesting.
Keen. By the way, I should say this and another one, Deathloop, will mention in a bit. 2 Bethesda published games, and actually it's been confirmed PS5 timed exclusives, so which is very interesting.
Really?
Yeah, so Bethesda, who normally actually give some timed exclusivity to Xbox seem to be playing nice with Sony at the moment. So yeah, very cool.
That's true. That's true. Next up, Dools, we've got Jet, the Far Shore, which it looked like is a space adventure. The main drawing point, I think we both agree, is the soundtrack. You mentioned to me during the stream it sounded super interstellar-y. Couldn't agree more. It looks sounds incredible. It looks fun. It looks cool. It looks very immersive. I'm all for that sort of type of game. But yeah, another space adventure sort of game. Then we got the Gearbox Publishing come into the fray, Dools, with Godfall. What do you think of Godfall?
So Godfall looks cool. This was actually the very, very first PS5 game, official PS5 game that we'd been shown, which I think was at the Game Awards end of last year, 2019 Game Awards. And so yeah, all we knew at the time was that it's coming to PS5 at launch. And we're showing a bit more gameplay, and I think at the time they gave it an interesting name. They called it a looter slasher. So I mean, like Borderlands is a looter shooter, this is like a looter slasher. So it's like third person action, Destiny-ish, Borderlandish, cooperative online game that I think just looks like, but at the same time it's like very third person action oriented, and I think it looks stunning. I think gameplay looks awesome, so I think if that's the launch, I also have a suspicion it could be free to play, but we'll see. But
we'll see.
Yeah,
it does look great. Looks like a lot of fun. Then we go into another Annapurna title, same as Stray, but this one's coming out in 2021. It's called Solar Ash. Looks pretty cool. Looks very unusual. Again, another indie title that they're just taking, they're giving cash to develop, which would look like all for that for PlayStation. But it looks great.
Did you ever play Hyperlight Drifter? So it's from that same dev.
I never played that.
Yeah, pretty cool game. Pretty cool game. And
I heard great things about that game.
Yeah,
I heard great things.
Yeah, so this is like another example of people have been saying, there've been rumblings that like the architecture for PS5 is so powerful, so easy to develop for, that indies are actually going to be able to make games on a borderline AAA scale and compete with AAA devs. And this is an example of this developer really like scaling up big time. Like this doesn't look AAA, but it looks seriously impressive and doesn't necessarily look indie either. So yeah,
that's true.
Really cool.
Dools, did you expect to see Hitman 3 not only be at this event but to come out in January 2021?
No, I didn't.
Are you in?
I am, although I don't want to be disingenuous and go right into Hitman 3 without having played. Two of them have come out, and it's so strange. I loved Absolution, which actually a lot of people don't like because it's very linear, and typically the series is very non-linear, but the recently rebooted one and then Hitman 2 were back to its roots, and I still haven't played them, like, at all. I haven't touched them, and I love stealth games, so I think, like, I definitely got to give them a shot before Hitman 3
Well, you got a couple months now, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I will, and I imagined I'll be there for Hitman 3, so, yeah, very keen.
It looks great. Looks cool. They said that the developer came out and he said that this is his most intimate and personal mission yet. You know them. You know me in grounded mission Dools. I love a grounded mission. You know me. Dools. Then we get, is it Astro's Playroom was next?
Astro's Playroom, yeah.
Yeah, those little fuckers come out. Oh, you'll know what I mean. They're like the little hallmarks of PlayStation. It's just another child-friendly game. It looks fine.
Yeah, so I think that's like a spin-off or a sequel to Astrobot VR, which a lot of people say is like PSVR's best game. Actually, it's like a platformer that
really,
a lot of people say it's like phenomenal. And I think this doesn't look like a VR title. It might be compatible with VR down the track, but it looks pretty cool. Again, another kind of like kid-friendly platformer that could steal some Nintendo fans.
Yeah. Then we get Dools. I really loved this little reveal, Little Devil Inside, where it was like the side by side was all 2D, but it was like it kind of looked like a 60s stop motion animation. Where it was the old man, and then it was the adventurer, and I think it was like
I got Wes Anderson vibes. Has.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. I think my first guess of the story is that that is the same person. It's just the adventurer grown up. and it's like him living out his like adventure days in his mind.
But at the very beginning, we do see them interact. Like he drags in like a monster or something. But I mean, yeah, you could be right. That could just be like a memory or something. But
hallucination. Maybe he's high on acid, Dools. Who knows? Who really knows?
Could be.
Then we got a glimpse at NBA 2K21. We're not NBA fans over here, but like we can appreciate the graphics and like how.
See those sweatbeads has?
And
see those sweatbeads?
Sorry. Yeah, exactly. I loved how in your face the messaging was. It's like, no, this is actually in-game footage.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, okay. Well, I thought that was funny.
Promise us.
Then Dools, we get the game of the show next. The absolute game of the show. From the creator of Octodad, we get Bug Snacks. And Dools, holy shit, this game looks like a lot of fun.
Has whatever these guys are smoking, I want some.
It's like a little 3D platformer sort of family-friendly game where you're on an island and all the bugs are different types of snacks, from donuts to subs, and it just looks like a lot of fun. And then at the end, all the snacks come together and create a snack monster that you're probably going to have to fight. And talking about monsters, Dools, Blue Point Studios comes onto the fray, finally revealing what they've been working on for the last couple of years. Demon Souls, Dools. They're rebooting it. Shuhei Yoshida introduced it, said something, revealing something close to my heart. I'm like, oh, Shuhei, you sweet man.
You beautiful soul, Shuhei.
Oh man, you just want to hug him.
So this is a pretty big one. I think Shuhei says it's near and dear to him. I'm not positive about all this, but Demon Souls, I believe, was a From Software and Japan studio collaboration back to the day, and Sony published it, and I'm pretty sure Shuhei would have had involvement, with production. So, yeah, to say it's near and dear, that makes sense. But this is like made from the ground up by Bluepoint, who have proven themselves big time with like as the remaster masters. They've done Metal Gear Solid Collection, Uncharted Collection, more recently the stunning Shadow of Colossus remake. So, yeah, these guys are more than capable, and apparently it's just been, it's just properly been remade again from the ground up, specifically for PS5, and so I think this game is just going to look unbelievable. And I'm a huge Souls fan, so I can't wait to see what this game's all about.
Do you reckon it's launch?
I don't think so. I think it's early next year, but okay. We weren't given a window, so who knows? But it could be like a Ratchet. It could be like, they don't want to tell us right now that all of these games are actually coming at launch. They just want to surprise us again later. So I mean, who knows?
It's true. Who knows? Dools, next up, we've got the other game that you were alluding to from Bethesda, from Arcane Studios, the guys that did Dishonored. We've got Deathloop, which is kind of like an assassin cross Groundhog Day type of game. So you keep dying, you keep starting again, which I guess is every game, but they've got a very repetitive mentality in this game. It looks great. It looks awesome. I was so in. What'd you think?
I think it looked great. I think it, it's like a cat and mouse type thing where two assassins are going after one another. Although one seems to be protecting someone and the other is after that said protectee. So, and it's in the name Deathloop. So, I mean, each time you die, I think you learn, and it's like dying is part of the narrative and part of the gameplay. So, yeah, it looks great. And I mean, these guys are great at that stylish action, and as is evident in Dishonored. So yeah, this is no surprise that this game looks so good.
Yeah, looks great. Looks unbelievable. Next up, Dools, we've got an amazing reveal for Resident Evil 8. I wouldn't have picked it to be in this event, if I'm being honest.
I actually did pick it, but I completely forgot about it at the time, and you were the one who actually first guessed it was Resident Evil when we were watching the stream.
Yeah, because we originally thought it was, we were like, is this Horizon? Because there was like some like overgrown like houses and stuff, and it looked like a decrepit sort of place. And some of the colours in there resembled in the first Horizon Zero Dawn. And then it seemed very eerie. I'm like, could this be the next Resident Evil?
And it was, yes. So this is Resident Evil 8, Village, and already fans of the franchise would kind of think like, oh, Village, and have that flashback to Resident Evil 4, where a big chunk of the game takes place in this very creepy village. But no, this looks very original. It seems to be following the same protagonist, Ethan, from Resident Evil 7, so it seems like a direct sequel to that. I would imagine, just based off the trailer, that is first person again, which I appreciate. I like that we're kind of getting like mix and match between Resident Evil games. You got the remake series with 2 and 3 that are in third person, and then you got these newer ones, 7 and 8, which are in first person. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chris Redfield's returning. People would know him. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks fucking awesome. I love Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's great. Again, apologies if you can hear the construction outside my house. Just is what it is at the moment. It looks great. I'm so in. I'm starting to get into Resident Evil heavily. I still need to play Resident Evil 7. I'll get to it though. I think it'll be one of the games I play before I finish this console generation. Next, Dools, is one that I'm very excited by. So a couple days ago, the writer of the original Dead Space came out on Twitter and said, so I've been working on a game for the last few years. It's a huge title. You're going to see it at this PS5 event. And as soon as the main character of the game, Pragmata, comes onto screen, I'm like, that looks like Isaac's suit out of Dead Space. Like, identical. So this is obviously it. This is definitely it.
It's not Dead Space, but I mean, it is the game, yes.
I reckon it's related to Dead Space, 100%. I reckon it might be a prequel to Dead Space, putting it out there.
I don't want to crush your hopes and dreams right here and now, but it's Capcom developed and they have no relation to that IP whatsoever. EA still own it, so...
Fuck it. No, Dools, let me dream.
All right,
let me dream.
all right, okay.
It looks strikingly similar, the suit. Strikingly similar. It's still a whiles off. It's 2022. They said it's coming out. That could of course be pushed. So we're not going to see it for a while. But fuck, the original Dead Space was such a great story. So I'm really looking forward to what this guy has to go off for Pragmata.
Yeah, it does look very cool, and yeah, I think I think it probably will be quite similar to Dead Space if it's got the same writer. I think it's apparently post-apocalyptic, set in space, that kind of thing. So I think it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be horror, but who knows? So I think yeah, it could be a spiritual successor to Dead Space.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Who knows, Dools? Next up, Dools.
Well, we know it's not Dead Space.
The second... No, but it might be. The second last reveal, Dools. Horizon Forbidden West. First off, love the name.
Yes.
Love the name.
And to everyone who thought it was going to be called Zero Dawn 2, it's like, you soft? You soft in the head? Do you have a smooth brain?
Yeah.
Just, it was, the franchise is clearly Horizon, and Zero Dawn was the subtitle. Anyway, just had to establish that.
I'm glad
you might have been one of those people, but that's all right. You get a pass.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Horizon Forbidden West. We've been predicting this to happen. It's a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. We've been anticipating the reveal. Eventually happened. We're still not sure if it's a launch title, of course. If it's not a launch title, it'll probably be launch window. So I'm sure we'll see more of it in the months to come. I personally think that we'll get a reveal of all the launch titles at Gamescom, or whatever the IGN equivalent is of Gamescom, because I know that IGN or GameSpot, they know there's going to be a digital sort of event of Gamescom, just like what they're doing for E3 right now. But Horizon Forbidden West looks pretty damn cool. I loved the first one; thought it was great, and it's definitely.
I think they really showed off, how they've innovated upon the first one, and just through this quick trailer, we see her climbing up mountains. There wasn't really much in the way of like Breath of the Wild style climbing, but it looks like she can really scale any kind of cliff face in this. You can go underwater, explore underwater cities. It looks like there's already a bunch of new enemies. Lance Redding is back. And there was also a rumor there might be like an interstitial kind of like Horizon 1.5 co-op game. That could still be real, but this clearly looks like the full-fledged sequel. So,
yeah,
yeah,
it looks great. I'm all in. And Dools, we finish on a great little hype reveal of what the PS5 box.
They're so good
like.
at this shit, dude.
They are indeed. And Dools, like, I'm all in. I'm quite tired of like the black or white box that just sits on your shelf and just looks pretty generic. This looks futuristic as fuck. I like how I saw one comment to describe it's like that kind of looks like Homer's futuristic car in Simpsons. I'm like, yes.
I mean, that's an insult of the highest order, but I thought you were a Simpsons fan. How do you get that reference?
I'm not an in-depth Simpsons fan like you are, but
see,
like,
you didn't know that Principal
reference.
Skinner's name wasn't actually Principal Skinner.
No,
I mean that's like low hanging fruit Simpsons trivia, but no worries. Yeah, so what the big thing that happened here? Yeah, we finally got the console reveal, which I wasn't sure they would do. I actually thought we might get a tease of it. I actually thought they were going to show more of the
I'm getting a lot of feedback from the construction outside.
I actually can't hear a thing, so we might be okay, but who knows?
No, I can see it coming up on the mic. It's all right.
So, the big thing that happened was that we're actually getting 2 SKUs of the console. So, wow. PS5 and then PS5 Digital Edition. And as the name implies, it's not going to have a disc drive. So that I think is a big deal, because for people who only want to play digitally, and to be honest, I'm probably in that camp, but I don't think it's just unfortunate for people living in Australia, like you and me, where retail games just honestly come out at like $30 cheaper. So as much as I'd love to just buy only digital, I'm going to be operating a $30 loss each time I do that, and I mean I just wouldn't be able to help not think about all the money I'd have been saving. So, but I mean, who knows? You know, maybe things will change in the years to come, and maybe I can get the discless option down the track. But I think it's a pretty bold move to kind of just indicate to people right now with the hardware that discs are soon going to become a thing of the past. And I think I would guess right now that I think it's $100 cheaper. And
I could think you're right there.
I think that's the $500 model. Because there's 2 SKUs, I have a feeling that the normal PS5 is actually $600 US. That's my theory. Or maybe it's $450 and $550, but I think it's $499, $599. That's my prediction right here. So
you heard it here first.
That's gonna be steep for us, but
with Dools,
it really doesn't fucking matter what it's gonna cost you. That shit's day one.
It's fine. Like literally, if you counted how much you spend on a phone, like you should spend this much on a PlayStation. You're gonna use it as much. Dools, that's the end of the PS5 reveal event. First of all, what a huge event. I thought it was really successful. Gave us everything that we wanted and more. I'm fucking all in.
Has real quick, just give me your favorite reveal.
Other than Bugsnax?
If it's Bugsnax, then you fucking
nah, probably Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I think the way that it looks, the way that it plays, it's beautiful, and as you said, it really shows off the power that the PS5 has, to be able to travel to planet absolutely instantly. It's going to be something of the future, and it looks beautiful. What about you?
Yeah, I think Ratchet's very close for me, but I think just because it was also so surprising, Spider-Man, and the fact that like we know that at launch we can play a brand new Spider-Man game on PS5. I mean, that's just huge.
It's huge. It's gonna be so good. Oh, Dools, so good. Close us out.
This has been your More Cops Than Duty supplementary episode where we reviewed the PS5 reveal event. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tagging along. You can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms: Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., and so on. Social, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I'm Dools. Has you are you. Thanks. Good night.
With More Cops on Duty, and we're out.